Well, good to see you again for another episode of Theology with my confession and my cup of tea. And again, I seem to get so much flack for that intro where I mixed milk and hot tea together. And again, to Darren Moore, who called me out on Facebook about this. Again, I just need to remind everyone that at least I'm using a kettle and a proper tea bag and proper British tea to make tea. So at some point, you got to cut me just a little bit of slack with my tea making. And this is just plain black tea, everyone. I don't know, I can't really show it without tipping. It's just plain black tea. There's no, in a Cornish mug, right? You can't, there's no way you can be offended by that. Anyway, all joking aside, we're continuing through chapter 8, which, as I've been saying, is just a fantastic gospel-saturated, Christ-centered section of the confession. As we've been building up to this point, we get to this wonderful section in section 6. And it says this: although the work of redemption was not actually wrought by Christ till after his incarnation, yet the virtue, efficacy, and benefits thereof were communicated unto the elect in all ages successively, from the beginning of the world, in and by those promises, types, and sacrifices, wherein he was revealed and signified to be the seed of the woman, which should bruise the serpent's head, and the Lamb slain from the beginning of the world, being yesterday and today the same forever. So again, just to recap, yesterday we talked about the outcomes or the effects flowing from Christ's work. And before that, we spoke about the work of Christ, the summary statement there. And here we have this wonderful reiteration, really. This, if you want to go back to section 7, or chapter 7, sections 5 and 6, we're speaking of this as well, that the saints in the Old Testament were saved in exactly the same manner. And I think this is a point that can sometimes be a little controversial, but I don't think it should be. I think biblically, the point is that you are saved by Christ alone, by faith alone, through grace alone. And that's true of the Old Testament as it is in the New Testament. And again, I believe, as the confession cites here, Galatians 4:4, that the argument of Galatians is indeed that point that Abraham, who preceded the law, was saved by his faith. And so in the Old Testament, there were types and signs and promises about the coming Messiah. And there was that faith in God that the Spirit worked through people, through what they know, in order to save them and unite them to Jesus Christ. And that's what the confession wants to drive at. Again, because it highlights the work of Jesus, the covenant and promises of God, and the sovereignty of God over all of salvation. And so it should be a good encouragement to us that the same God who was at work in the Old Testament to save is doing so in the new covenant as well. And as the confession has already stated, there's a simplicity now in the new covenant and a greater efficacy, if you will, but nonetheless the salvation is still found in Christ alone. There's not two ways of salvation in the Bible. There's one way, and that's through Jesus Christ. So that wraps us up for section 6. I really like it. Hope you do too. And again, good seeing you today. It's a little dreary out here, but you know what? Hot tea, it cures everything, doesn't it? Cheers.